guys, Stan the Man 636 back here today. We're doing something different for once. We are doing a video without commentary, then commentating on it in the editing phase, which I am actually watching the edit right now, so this is pretty live. So this is a video of myself landing a rover on the moon in KSP. Now, I had to restart my world with the new communication update because my older world, which is, it's like, it came out before full game release, so it eventually, becomes outdated and it can't update as much anymore, so had to make a new world. Now, this was my first mission, so I was like, hey, we're gonna just land on the rover on the moon. So right now, as you can see, I made a maneuver to the moon, and I'm getting ready to um, maneuver. Now, I'm sorry if I do cough during this. This God, this ain't much better than the commentating I usually do. But if I cough during this commentating, I'm sorry. I'm sick right now. I have a what is it called? Post-nasal drip. It's like in the throat, and it's just irritating my throat right now. So sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah. So if I cough like that, just let you know I'm sick. So yeah. So we're getting ready for the burn at this point, and yeah, this is like, God, today is not a good day for me. I'm gonna. Oh, I wish I could get a drink of water here. So what I was going to say is, okay, there we go. That I am going to do a burn here in about a few seconds to do my first burn to the moon, and pretty much that's it. I will come back on with the commentating once that starts back up. Okay, so at this point I have completed the burn, and I was getting a little close to the atmosphere. As you can see, the atmosphere bar where the altitude bar is starting to drop a little bit. Oh, it's actually going up now, but it was dropping, and I got a little bit of heating up on the rover itself, so I was a little like, oh god, please tell me it ain't gonna burn up. So what ends up happening is the orbit got a little bit messed up with the maneuver, so I just made a new one to fix it. And I think I overshot my target a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. We'll see that coming up here as I take a drink of my water, so I'm not coughing like a madman, because talking like crazy. And yeah, there we go. I overshot a little bit, but hey, it's not that bad. But being sick and trying to commentate isn't fun. So at this point, I warped to the area, the encounter, so you can see the moon coming up right there. And there we go, we got our little encounter. Now, at this point, I actually almost forgot to release the solar panels, because the problem with this craft is when you have SAS on, it runs through power. So the problem with that is you're running through power and you're not generating anything. So there I am opening all the panels. Now this rocket's pretty weird. You'll see this more in the video when I'm about to land the rover, but I have to switch controls to like the rover, because the controls for the rover I had to put it on upside down, so the nav ball's upside down, and it's just bad when you're trying to fly a rocket with a nav ball upside down. So I had to make another computer control to make it perfect, and I have to change it like mid-landing. So yeah, that ain't the best. And at this point now I am doing my deorbit burn. So yeah, here we go. Approaching the excuse me, sorry. Approaching the moon, the mun, the whatever you want to call it, the block of cheese that flies over the earth. You do you. And I'm gonna mute myself for a second just because incoming cough. Okay, and thank the Lord you guys didn't have to hear that, because that was, I think, the worst. So at this point, I'm aiming for that huge crater right there. Now, I add another maneuver. Like, maneuvers are my friend in this game. They're just helpful. Like, back in the day before I actually used maneuvers, it was like I didn't use them at all. I was just like, okay, I'll just eyeball it. God, sorry about it. I'm trying to stop coughing. It's not working. God. So, yeah, maneuvers are my friend now, pretty much. Just after a while, I've gotten used to using them, and really, once you get used to them, you're never going back. It's pretty, just very helpful tool. I don't think if KSP had it, I wouldn't be happy. But at this point, I am aiming for that huge crater right there. I'm not sure, but I think that is the biggest crater on the Mun. Well, not the biggest, but the biggest on the like equator of the Mun or the moon or the block of cheese, as I said, flying in space. So, you know, since I have a lot of fuel left, since this isn't meant for the moon, this rover's meant for Mars. As you can see, there's parachutes and stuff on it. But since the moon is pretty close, you know, there's a lot of extra fuel, you know, to just burn because you can. And now at this point, I'm slowing down my orbit even more just to do a point drop instead of coming in an angle. So now this is when I start vertically dropping down onto the moon, the block of cheese. You know what? Comment down below what you want me to call the moon. You want me to call it the Mun like it is in game, the moon like it is in real life, Luna for crying out loud, which is the Spanish way of calling it, I think, and the block of cheese flying in space. If I have to call it the block of cheese flying in space, I'm just that's not going to be good. Okay, so now at this point, I'm starting to slow down the craft to at least a reasonable speed because I am 19,000 feet to the surface, and that's like give or take maybe 2,000. So the best time to land on the Mun, actually, or the moon. I'm just gonna keep calling it the moon now, but the best time to land is during the day because you have your shadow reference. Now, obviously the sun will cast a shadow, and that's a good reference on where you are. And actually on a future mission, it's actually one right after this, it wasn't much longer, it's the next day, I end up landing in the exact same crater I land the rover, so that'll be a little spoiler on what happens the next episode. So yeah, very interesting, you know, how I've gotten really good at this game. I haven't actually landed on any other planet yet. I've landed on both of the moons many times, so I've mastered it at this point. Next is probably going to land this same rover on Mars. I think I have to upgrade the rocket because I ran out of fuel. Like I was really close to landing. I didn't have enough fuel to I didn't have enough fuel to deorbit the Mars. Like I only kept getting in encounters. I didn't have enough fuel to hit the atmosphere at all. So yeah, that very disappointing, I have to say. So yeah, at this point I'm just being like precautious and stuff because, you know, it's just you don't want to accelerate too much, and when you have a lot of extra fuel, it's not good. Okay, so here's the point where I'm going to switch controls. Now this is what I was talking about, the weird nav ball. Like watch, I'll control from here. Now it's upside down. So I have to be like really quick. Now I did turn on the computer, and I was like, oh, I clicked what is it, prograde and antigrade? I forget, something like that. And I forgot to turn on RCS, and it wasn't moving. I was like, oh my god, what did I do wrong? Like I started to freak out for a second, and I just looked, and I was like, oh yeah, RCS isn't on. So that little bit right there that I just detached, or it's not little, it's actually pretty big. That's gonna crash and hit the ground at full speed. Yes, that smart, you know, Stanley. What do I want to call my space program? Well, I have a smart space program, you know, conserving the base of the moon. You know, just have a huge, like, more like 100-ton thing crash into it, like make a new crater in the moon. I wonder if it probably would, but depending on how fast it's going. So yeah, at this point, right now, I am really close to the ground. You should see my shadow. Yeah, there it is on the, like, near the nav ball. So this is the point where I know this is like the point of no return. Now, I could probably bring it back to Earth, but I wouldn't have enough to do a deorbit burn, and yeah, it just wouldn't work out. So this is like the point of no return. If I screw up here, I have to revert the flight, which I don't feel like doing. And actually, every time you try and land in this game on a slope, it's not fun because the antigrade tilts with the land, and it sometimes spazzes out. Plus, on top, I put a ton of rocket engines on this, so it's like really sensitive. It's not. Excuse me. It's not as sensitive as my moon lander for the Kerbals because there's only one rocket engine. It's easier to control, but oh my god. There we go. So, you know, I'm coming down on it right now, and you know, I actually go up. I actually start going positive. Now, as you can see, the computer's starting to calculate the slope. Now, I actually start going up, and I hate when it goes up. It turns off the computer control on the antigrade. So, see, I have to switch it back right there, and now I'm still going down, drifting. And I actually do it again here. Yeah, see right there, and it's off. Now I'm just like, oh crap. I'm like, okay, let's get it back on. But then at that point, I was low enough, so I was like, oh, whatever. So, actually, you'll see a problem I have. Thank the Lord, right at that cut there, I saved. Because sometimes there's issues with the rover trying to maneuver out because it can't go out correctly except for the sides. So you'll see me trying to maneuver it here. Now, it gets stuck on the left-hand landing gear right here, and it blows up the back left wheel, so right here. Oh god, sorry. So yeah, thank the Lord for that save, because I would have wanted to kill myself, because it's not maneuverable anymore, and I think it lands, yeah, so it hit load save. Oh, thank the Lord. So, loading screen, and, oh god. God, sorry for the coughing, guys. I'm just, you know, not a good thing. Good health. So, I maneuver it on the bottom-hand side this time because retarded me maneuvering it going uphill is not a smart idea. It's the Polish in me showing out. JK. So there we go. Get it out perfectly. Now, what do you do when you're in a big crater with a small rover? You know, you just full speed it down the hill. Now, at this point, I really forgot. Since I haven't been on KSP in actually a while. So here's me renaming it to Moon Rover Luna. I haven't been on a while, so I forgot what the design was, like what sensors I had in it. So this is like when I was like, okay, what do I have on this thing, just to see. Now I do have an atmospheric detector. Obviously, as I said, it's meant for Mars, so Mars has an atmosphere. The moon doesn't, for all you idiots out there. Well, if you're a kid watching this, I don't know why you watch my content, because I can use some vulgar language sometimes, not like the most kid-friendly channel. And second of all, if you're a kid watching this, like, as I said, I don't just go over topics that are kid-friendly. Except for my older videos. Yeah, if you want to watch my older Minecraft videos that are cringy, just I'm fine with that. So, at this point, I'm doing, like, sort of a skiing maneuver, going, like, back and forth, like serpentine, to slow down the craft, so I don't go full speed and flip it. But, you know, knowing me, and that I do have a save, YOLO, I do actually end up riding on 2 wheels. Excuse me. So, let's wait a little bit. Try not to cough. It's like right around here. It should be like a sharp turn, like right now, I think it is. Yeah, right here. There's the 2 wheels. So at this point, I'm like tapping the B button because I'm like, hitting 2 wheels isn't a smart idea. Because, you know, flipping this thing. Now, actually, the center of mass is pretty low on the rover itself, so it's pretty hard to flip. Like, I haven't flipped it yet, except for when that glitch happened with the landing gear, but we're not going to count that, are we? Plus, I have equipped a crap ton of batteries on this thing to make it last through the night. I do have to have a satellite orbit the planet, or the planet, yeah, because the moon's a planet, everybody, if you didn't know. I'm going to have a satellite orbit the moon so I can get a little bit better connection with the rover. Now, I do have a great connection, but I haven't really tested it when it's not facing the Earth, because it's pretty much, bright side of the moon facing Earth. So pretty much I stopped it at this point, backing it up because my OCD doesn't like it when it's tilting forward. And I also added a reusable open and closed solar panel just so in the mornings, like after a long night, it can charge quickly and I don't have to wait. Because, impatient me, I don't want to be waiting a while for a rover to charge up with one solar panel, even though that is enough. And, yeah, this is going to be the end here, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. Just a warning about this week, I might not get a video out because I do have finals in school and studying and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.